It's 2 a.m., you're completely exhausted, you've just drifted off to sleep, and then bang, a massive heavy thump right above your head. And that's usually followed by this awful scratching noise that sounds literally like something is dragging a heavy iron chain right across your ceiling. Look, you aren't crazy. You're just dealing with a nightmare that haunts countless homeowners, which is possums throwing a midnight party in your roof cavity. But don't worry, because in today's explainer, we're going to fix it for good.
So let's get you some peace of mind. Here is our roadmap for today. We've got 5 key sections. First, identifying the midnight intruder. Second, finding those secret entryways. Third, the real cost of possum damage. Fourth, how to handle legal and humane eviction. And finally, roof repairs and prevention. Take a deep breath. We have a definitive plan to solve this whole shebang.
All right, Section 1, identifying the midnight intruder. Who exactly is up there?
Before we start handing out eviction notices, we need to play detective for a minute. Let's address that classic symptom directly. Are you hearing these noises at 2 a.m.? Because, timing is everything here. If you're hearing a really light, fast skittering at, say, 2 p.m., you might just be dealing with rats or birds. But if it's the dead of night and you hear that heavy, deliberate thumping and slow, dragging scratch, well, you've likely hit the jackpot with a brushtail possum. You have to remember, to a possum, your warm, dry, completely predator-free roof is basically a luxury hotel.
A lot of people actually confuse possums and rats, but the differences are pretty stark when you know what to look for. Possums are heavy. A brush-tail possum can weigh 2 to 3 kilos. That's exactly why you hear those heavy, deliberate thumps instead of the quick, light skittering of a rat. And, well, if you dare to check the droppings, possum poo is roughly the size of a small olive. That completely contrasts with the tiny, rice-sized droppings that rats leave behind.
Beyond the noise, there are a couple of other absolute dead giveaways. If you start smelling something incredibly strong, musty, and almost sweet, but in a really, really gross way, coming from your ceiling, yep, that's possum pee. And honestly, the single easiest way to confirm this? Just step outside right around dusk. Grab a cup of tea, keep a keen eye on your roofline, and if you see animals scaling the trees and disappearing under your roof tiles, well, you've officially confirmed the invasion. Moving right along to Section 2, finding the secret entryways. How are they actually getting in?
Now, a lot of people assume possums chew their way through solid wood like termites do. Actually, scratch that. It's more like they just squeeze through vulnerabilities that are already there. They really don't need a giant, gaping hole. If a storm shifts a roof tile just a centimeter or two, that's all they need. Damaged or rotted timber eaves basically act like a welcome mat. Even broken roof fence or those really cozy hidden gaps right underneath your solar panels serve as an open door. They are incredibly flexible, and man, are they determined.
And it's not always obvious storm damage either. Normal wear and tear is a huge factor. Fading silicone or cracked flashing around your pipes, chimneys, and skylights, that creates an absolutely perfect possum-sized door. As that sealant cracks and pulls away over the years, it opens up access to your roof cavity that you would probably never even notice from the ground. All right, Section 3, the cost of possum damage. Let's talk about the real price tag here.
We really need to look past just the sheer annoyance of the midnight thumping, because the financial and structural reality of what these guys do to your home is serious. It's a cascading effect. They target your insulation to build warm nests, completely flattening it, which drives your power bills through the roof. And then they soak it in urine, leaving what I like to call the forever smell. Squeezing under tiles shifts them out of place, inevitably leading to water leaks and structural rot. They'll chew through your eaves, widening gaps for other pests. And while they aren't quite as obsessed with chewing as rats are, they absolutely will chew through electrical wires if they're in the way. And of course, the constant noise, that leads directly to chronic sleep deprivation, and you really can't put a price tag on your sanity. Which brings us to Section 4, legal and humane eviction. Doing it strictly by the book. Okay, prepare yourself for a major plot twist. You might be sitting there thinking, I'll just trap the little guy and toss him over the fence into the bush. Don't do it. As this quote warns, you cannot just grab a trap and chuck them over the fence. Possums are a legally protected species in all Australian states. Illegal relocation isn't just about being humane. Catching them and dumping them in the bush carries severe, massive penalties. We are talking about fines that can easily run into the thousands of dollars. So what do you do instead? You follow this foolproof, totally legal 5-step eviction roadmap. Step 1, identify the animal to be absolutely sure it's a possum.
Step 2, install a Possum box alternative out in your yard. Step 3, have a professional install a one-way flap door right over their entry point. This is brilliant because it lets them push out at night to forage, but they physically cannot get back in. Step 4, wait a couple of days and verify the roof is actually empty. And then step 5, seal up every single gap on your roof so they can't force their way back inside.
Let's just touch on that Possum box for a quick second. I know it might sound like extra work, or maybe a bit of hippie mumbo-jumbo to some, but Possum boxes provide a natural tree hole alternative. By attaching a sturdy wooden box to a nearby tree or a fence post, you're actually encouraging them to leave your roof willingly. Why? Because it resembles their natural habitat way better than your fiberglass insulation does. You have to give them somewhere else to go, or they'll just keep trying to get back in.
Finally, Section 5, Roof Repairs and Prevention. It's time to seal the fortress.
Look, getting the possum out is literally only half the job. To make absolutely sure your roof is airtight against the next potential invader, choosing the proper repair materials is completely critical. You must use chew-proof materials. We're talking steel mesh, metal flashing, and solid timber. Never, ever use plastic or expanding foam. A persistent possum will slice right through expanding foam like it's warm butter. You have to make your roof an absolute fortress.
And then, unfortunately, there is the hard financial truth about the inside of your ceiling. Contaminated, urine-soaked insulation simply cannot be cleaned. You can't wash it, you can't spray it with deodorizer, it loses all its insulating properties, and that terrible smell will linger forever. It must be completely removed, bagged up, thrown in the garbage, and totally replaced. I know it's a frustrating expense, but biting the bullet on this is the only real solution if you want a clean, healthy home.
Now, to ensure you never have to go through this whole ordeal again, you need to do some practical, ongoing maintenance. Trim back any tree branches so they are at least a full meter away from your roofline. If you've got branches touching your gutters, you have basically built a super highway bridge directly into your roof cavity. Also, take 5 minutes to walk around your property after big storms to check for any loose tiles. Oh, and if you did install that possum box, just remember to clean it out once a year so it stays an attractive, viable home for them. I want to leave you with this powerful summary thought to wrap up our explainer today. Do it once, do it right, and then sleep through the night. Possums are a massive pain, they cost you real money, and honestly, they smell terrible. But here's the good news. This is completely fixable. If you take definitive action, handle the eviction legally, and seal your roof up like a fortress, you can finally reclaim your sanity and get a good night's sleep. So, what does this all mean for you right now? Well, tell me. Have you checked your roof line at dusk recently? Because if you're hearing bumps in the night, tonight might just be the perfect night to start looking. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.